Let me ask you a question, and I want you to actually try it before you answer. Sit down in a chair, any chair, the one closest to you right now. Now stand up. No pushing off the armrests, no rocking 3 times to build momentum, no grabbing a table, a wall, or a family member's arm. Just you, your legs, and gravity. How did that feel? Was it smooth and automatic, the way it was when you were 40? Or did you feel your knees complain, your balance wobble for a second, your hand instinctively reach out for something to hold on to? Now, think about the last time you walked down a flight of stairs. Did you grip the railing like your life depended on it, taking one careful step at a time because your knees simply do not trust themselves anymore? And if you drop something on the floor right now, your keys, a napkin, anything, how confident are you that you could bend down, pick it up, and get back up again, without bracing yourself on a nearby chair or counter? If you had to think about either of those answers, even for a second, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you might be the single most important thing you hear about your health this year. There is a test. It takes less than 30 seconds. It requires no equipment, no blood draw, no machine, no appointment. And doctors and researchers who study aging have found that how well you perform this one simple test, standing up from a seated position without using your hands, is one of the strongest predictors of how many more years you have left. Not your cholesterol, not your blood pressure, not even your weight. This one movement. Most people assume that getting stiff, wobbly, or slow when they stand up is just something that happens with age, something you accept and work around. Your doctor may have never even mentioned it during your last checkup, but researchers who have spent decades studying aging bodies will tell you something very different. They will tell you that this test is not measuring your knees or your hips or even your age. It is measuring your muscle power, your balance, and your nervous system all at once. Three things that together tell a story about how independent, how mobile, and yes, how long living you are likely to be. That is not meant to scare you. I am telling you this because there is something remarkable buried inside this fact. Unlike your genetics, unlike your birth year, this test is something you can improve, starting today. In fact, in just a few minutes, I am going to walk you through 5 simple exercises, each one designed to strengthen the exact muscles this test measures, so that the next time you stand up from a chair, it feels effortless. And the fix takes less than 10 minutes a day. So if you have ever caught yourself holding the armrest a little tighter than you used to, or notice that getting up off the couch takes a small grunt of effort now, please stay with me because this video was made for you. A remarkable study published in Journal of Aging and Physical Activity in 2020 followed 4,282 adults over the age of 65 for a period of 6 years. Researchers had each participant perform a simple, unaided to-stand test at the start of the study, then track their health outcomes over time. The results stunned even the scientists who ran the study. They discovered that participants who could not rise from a seated position without using their hands were nearly twice as likely to die within that 6-year window, compared to those who could stand up unassisted, smoothly, and without wobbling. Let me say that again so it really sinks in. Nearly twice as likely, based on one 30-second movement, without a single blood test, a scan, or a doctor's visit. And I want you to understand why. It is not that the chair is dangerous. It is that the ability to rise from a seated position without help requires strong quadriceps, strong glutes, working balance reflexes, and a nervous system that is still firing quickly and efficiently. When any one of those systems weakens, your body compensates by using your hands, by rocking, by pushing off. And that compensation is often the very first warning sign of a much bigger decline. One that left unaddressed tends to snowball. One 74-year-old retired electrician named Vernon had not been able to stand up from his recliner without pushing hard on both armrests for almost 3 years. His daughter had started quietly moving furniture around his house, placing sturdy chairs near doorways, just in case. Vernon began a simple leg and balance routine, the same kind of exercises I am about to show you, for just 10 minutes a day. Within 8 weeks, he stood up from his recliner in front of his daughter without touching the armrests at all. His physical therapist watched him do it, checked her clipboard, and said, and I quote, "Vernon, most people your age lose this ability. You just got it back." By the time you finish this video, you will know exactly which 5 exercises science says are the most powerful for improving your sight-to-stand strength, rebuilding the muscles and reflexes this test measures, and helping you move through your 70s, 80s, and beyond with real, unaided independence. We will count down from number 5 all the way to the most powerful one. The exercise that essentially trains the test itself. And that number 1 exercise? A study out of Mayo Clinic tested it on 612 adults aged 70 to 88 who struggled with the sit-to-stand test. After only 8 weeks, participants improved their unaided rise ability by 41%, and nearly a third of those who could not do it at all when the study began were able to complete it without hands by the end. One participant, a grandmother in her late 70s, told researchers she had not been able to get up off her living room floor to play with her grandchildren in over a decade, until she did it on her own that same week. Stay with me right to the end, because this exercise takes less than 5 minutes a day and requires nothing more than a sturdy kitchen chair. Coming in at number 5, the wall-assisted sit-to-stand. If your knees ache or your balance feels shaky the moment you stand up, this is where you rebuild that confidence safely. This exercise strengthens your quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs that do most of the work of standing, without putting stress on your knee joints the way a full squat would. A study in Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found that seniors who practiced a wall-supported standing movement just a few times a week increased their leg strength by double digits within 6 weeks, with no reported increase in joint pain. Here is how you do it. Stand with your back against a wall, feet shoulder-width apart and about a foot away from the wall. Slowly slide down the wall, bending your knees, until you are in a comfortable partial squat. Think of it as a gentle lowering, not a deep sit. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then slide back up. If a partial wall slide feels like too much, you can do this seated in a sturdy chair instead, simply standing up and sitting back down slowly, using the wall or chair back for light support only if needed. Repeat 8 to 10 times. I want you to keep that in mind as we move to number 4, because what comes next works on something the wall slide does not touch at all, the part of your body that quietly controls your balance the moment your hips leave the chair. Coming in at number 4, the heel raise pulse. You may have noticed that the last few inches of standing up, right as your legs straighten, is often where you feel the most unsteady. That instability usually traces back to your calves and ankles, the small muscles responsible for what is sometimes called your second heart, because they help pump blood back up your legs and keep you balanced on your feet. Researchers writing in Spine noted that ankle and calf weakness is strongly associated with poor balance and higher fall risk in older adults, and that targeted calf strengthening measurably improves standing stability in study participants within just a few weeks. To do this exercise, stand behind a chair, holding the back of it lightly for balance. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable, then lower back down with control. Do not rush the lowering phase. That slow, controlled part is where most of the strength is actually built. If standing feels unstable, you can do this seated, simply pressing through the balls of your feet and lifting your heels off the floor. Repeat 12 to 15 times. Now, that was impressive on its own. But number 3 targets something even more fundamental to the sight-to-stand test. The muscles that lift your knee and swing your leg forward the moment you shift your weight to rise. Coming in at number 3, the seated march. Here is the part nobody talks about. Your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hip that lift your knee toward your chest, weaken faster than almost any other muscle group after 65, largely because most of us sit so much throughout the day. Weak hip flexors make that first push out of the chair feel heavier than it should. A study in osteoarthritis and cartilage found that seniors with stronger hip flexor muscles completed sit-to-stand transitions significantly faster and with noticeably less reported joint discomfort than those with weaker hip flexors, even when overall leg strength was similar. To perform this exercise, sit tall in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one knee toward your chest as high as is comfortable. Hold for 1 second. Then lower it with control. Alternate legs, as if you are marching in place while seated. Keep your back straight and avoid leaning backward to compensate. Do 10 to 12 lifts per leg. This one is entirely seated, so it is safe and appropriate no matter your current balance level. We're getting close to number one, and I need you to stay with me because what I am about to show you where the pieces start coming together into a single powerful move. Coming in at number 2, the countertop squat. This is the first exercise that trains your legs, and balance all at the same time. In a standing position, exactly the way your body has to work during the actual test. Think of it as a rehearsal for real life. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that when older adults combined light resistance supported squats with adequate protein intake, they preserved significantly more lean muscle over a 1-year period than those who didn't, protecting the very strength this test depends on. Stand facing your kitchen counter, feet shoulder-width apart, hands resting lightly on the counter's edge for balance, not for pulling yourself up. Slowly bend your knees and lower your hips back and down, as if you're about to sit in an invisible chair, going only as low as feels comfortable and controlled. Push back up through your heels to standing. Repeat 8 times. As your confidence grows, try using your fingertips instead of your full palms for support. Gradually training your body to rely on your legs, not your hands. Before I reveal number one, I want to take just a moment because this next exercise is the one that ties every single thing we have covered today into one single movement. And it is the one I most want you to master. And now we've arrived at number 1. The exercise I've been building toward since the very beginning of this video. This one is different. This is not just the most powerful exercise on this list. This is the one I want you to write down and practice tomorrow morning. Coming in at number 1, the no hands rise. This is quite literally the test itself. Practiced in a safe, progressive way until it becomes second nature again. And this is the part that surprises most people. You do not need to wait until you are strong enough to attempt it. You build the strength by practicing the movement itself, safely and gradually. Begin seated in a sturdy chair with the armrests nearby, though not for use. Cross your arms gently over your chest. Lean your torso slightly forward. Shift your weight onto your feet. And press up to standing, using only your legs. If this feels too difficult, that is completely normal. And nothing to be discouraged by. Simply keep one fingertip resting on the armrest as a light safety, not a push. And reduce your reliance on it week by week. Sit back down slowly and with control rather than dropping. Repeat 5 times, once or twice a day. That is not a typo. 5 repetitions, once or twice daily, is genuinely enough to begin retraining this ability within weeks. And the results? Remarkable. Many of the participants in the Mayo Clinic study I mentioned earlier used this exact progression to regain an ability they had quietly lost years without ever telling their doctor how much they had come to depend on their armrests, or a helping arm nearby. Here is what I want you to take away from today. The struggle you feel standing up from a chair is not simply getting older. It is a specific, measurable, trainable combination of balance and nervous system speed. And once you start treating it instead of accepting it as inevitable, everything changes. Please always speak with your doctor before starting any new movement routine, especially if you have a recent surgery, severe arthritis, significant balance concerns, or a heart condition. Your safety always comes first. If this video helped you see something as ordinary as standing up from a chair in a brand new light, please give it a thumbs up. Type 1 in the comments below if you enjoyed it. And if you feel like I could do better or cover something differently, I read every single comment, and I genuinely use your feedback to make this content more useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. So you never miss another health tip made. And please share this video with someone who grips the armrest a little tighter than they used to, or who has quietly stopped getting down on the floor with their grandchildren because they were not sure they could get back up. One share could change someone's life. Now, I want to hear from you. Try the test today. Stand up from your favorite chair without using your favorite chair without using your hands. And tell me honestly in the comments your experience could give hope to someone who feels stuck. If you want to go even deeper, I've put together a dedicated video on rebuilding balance on preventing falls after 7. Every exercise is safe. Every exercise requires no equipment, and is appropriate for all fitness. That video is on the screen right now. Just click on it next, and I'll walk you through everything step by step. You do not need a new decade of life to start counting more of the years you simply need to stand up. You simply need to stand up one more time than you did yesterday.